Hey, what's up? Happy Tuesday. Today I have a recipe video for you, and I'm gonna start doing recipe/cooking videos every Tuesday as part of a new recipe series titled Tasty Tuesday. So if you check back every Tuesday, I will have a cooking video for you. And today's the first episode. And so today I'm going to make a creamy sweet potato coconut milk pasta sauce inspired by a recipe I found on Vegan Risha's blog. Her blog's excellent, all the recipes are vegan, so I'm just gonna modify that recipe today to suit our tastes. And I'll post a link to Vegan Risha's recipe in the video description in case you want to watch her video and customize the recipe yourself, but her blog is awesome. So for this recipe, you will need a box of pasta, a jar of chickpeas, a handful of mushrooms, sweet potatoes, which we're going to steam. I'm not sure how much of these we will use. We might only use 2 of them, but we're going to make some extra and then see. We want to get about 2 cups worth of steamed sweet potato puree. You also need a can of coconut milk, tomato paste, and we are using some different herbs today. We have dried thyme, rosemary, onion flakes, black pepper. So the original recipe calls for pumpkin and sage, but we're not big on pumpkin, and we couldn't find regular sage at the grocery store because apparently in Poland, sage isn't used as like an herb in savory cooking. It's more of just like a medicinal herb, like used in teas. It's actually in our mouthwash too. So we found dried sage in tea bags, but we couldn't find like the fresh herb. And so I figured I would just use dried rosemary instead. So the first thing we're going to do is peel the sweet potatoes, cube them, and then we're gonna steam them in this pot using this collapsible steamer basket. So this just goes inside here. And you fill up the pot with water so it's coming through, just coming through there. And we'll place the sweet potatoes inside and steam that until they're nice and soft. So you could also steam these in the microwave. You would just have to poke them with a fork and then wrap them in a wet paper towel and then microwave them for like 15 minutes or 20 minutes?
12 minutes.
Oh, 12?
Yeah. You just do it for 6, then turn it around and do it for another 6.
Okay.
They're like a mix between a carrot and a potato.
Okay. So it's boiling and we reduce the heat. And then how long will this simmer for?
About 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Timer's done. I can check it. Oh yeah, I think they're done now. Yep, nice and soft now. The original recipe calls for us to saute herbs in oil. I don't want to do that because I don't like cooking with oil. So instead, I will just add all the sauce ingredients together and let them simmer. The first step to that is going to be sauteing the mushrooms with all of the herbs, black pepper, onion flakes, and I'll just do that until they shrink down, release some of their water, and then after that I'll just add in everything else, simmer it all together. First I'll add the mushrooms, and then black pepper to taste, which basically just means as much black pepper as you like. And you can always add more at the end if it's not peppery enough. And the original recipe also called for the fresh sage, but today I'm going to use dried rosemary instead. I think it'll impart a similar flavor. So I'm just gonna do 1 teaspoon of this dried rosemary, a teaspoon of dried thyme, and then 2 teaspoons of onion flakes. And since we're not using oil, we need something to like move it along, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of water into the pot. Bring it up to high heat. Oops. So you just wanna saute these for a couple minutes in the water. You can also use veggie broth if you're like us and you don't wanna use oil. That'll add a nice flavor. So while this is going, I'm going to measure out about 2 cups of sweet potato, which is about this, like 16-ounce grande size. So this should be enough sweet potato for the sauce. We also have a lot left over here. So if we need it to be more sweet potato-y, we'll just add some more. Just so it's easier to mix into the sauce. Alright, so now I'm just gonna add everything else into this pot. 2 to 4 tablespoons of tomato paste, so I think that's like 1 tablespoon. Maybe just do all of everything that's in the jar.
Okay. It smells really nice.
Yeah, the herbs.
We're done?
Yep. This is our first coconut milk-based sauce. Ooh, this bowl's heavy. We might need more tomato paste, but we'll see. Creamy. It smells pretty sweet, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Looks a little bit like a stroganoff sauce.
Yeah, it's supposed to be creamy like that. Okay. I think I'll just put the whole jar in.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, we're just estimating all this stuff, so I'm just gonna add some more tomato paste. It's more tomatoey. More tomatoey, less coconutty. That looks kind of good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll just let this simmer for a while, and then I'll start boiling water for the pasta. And then we can taste test this to see if we need to add more herbs or onion or whatever. This smells good. That tastes good. I think it needs more black pepper. Also, the original recipe called for garlic. I think that would be very tasty in this, but we also aren't big garlic fans, so we substituted that with onion instead. Pasta water on. I move this to the back, and we're just gonna let this hang out. It's on like medium heat. Just let all the flavors come together. The flavors will get better the longer it sits. And then we are going to be using an entire box of pasta today. I think the original recipe would make about half of this. We're making the full. This looks like a soup. Mm-hmm. This is actually good.
Mmm. I approve.
Creamy. I like the color.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know this recipe works. Oh, this looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Time to dig in. Yeah.
I'm actually hungry.
Me too. Kuba's portion. Whoa, I'll try this for now.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll keep this for seconds or something.
Yeah. Mmm. Smells really good.
Yeah. And so Vegan Risha also recommends like toasting some breadcrumbs to put on top, so that would be really tasty.
Are you gonna put the sauerkraut too, or?
Oh yeah. This company's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We had their pickles, but now we're enjoying their sauerkraut. Yeah, because we didn't add any salt to this recipe, even though it called for salt. I just prefer to have something salty like on the side. Sauerkraut or kapusta kishona.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good.
Okay. Oh, this looks good. Let me try it with the sauerkraut. That's really good.
Good.
Better with the sauerkraut. Enjoy. Yeah, so some other ways to modify this recipe are that you could use like butternut squash, or like the original recipe called for pureed pumpkin. So we didn't use oil in this recipe, we just used water instead. You can also use veggie broth. We used the dried rosemary instead of the fresh sage, and it still is pretty tasty, I would say. I think some garlic would be really nice, or what else? Something spicy, like a cayenne pepper or something like that.
Or chili powder.
Yeah, chili powder. Even like paprika, I think. Like a smoky paprika. The sweet potato flavor in this is just like squash to me. You know, it's just like a creamy sauce. But yeah, this was really good. And I think the coconut milk was a good choice because there's more fat in it. So using like an almond milk, it might be too watery. This is yummy. Yeah, this was good, but I still prefer our regular pasta.
Me too.
This is how some vegans make their mac and cheese. They do this, but they add nutritional yeast too. And garlic, but to me, this doesn't really, it's not cheesy to me, it's just creamy.
This is not too fatty, but it still has this like kind of...
It's definitely more rich than our other stuff. So make sure you check back every Tuesday for another episode of Tasty Tuesday recipe videos. And I came up with that name on my own. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.